Lagos never truly sleeps. The city hums with life. Yellow danfos honking aggressively, street hawkers weaving through traffic, and pedestrians moving with determined urgency. In the heart of this urban jungle stands the towering glass structure of Adegbite Innovations, a symbolic power of wealth and relentless ambition. Amaka Okafor steps out of the cab, smoothing the folds of her fitted Ankara dress. The morning sun casts a golden glow on her dark skin as she inhales deeply, steadying herself. Today isn't just another day, it is the beginning of a new chapter. She grips the leather strap of her handbag and strides through the revolving doors. The cool air inside the lobby is a stark contrast to the Lagos heat outside. Employees in tailored suits and stylish corporate attire move briskly, their voices blending into a low hum of professionalism. At the reception desk, a well-dressed young woman barely looks up. "Good morning, how may I help you? I am Amaka Okafor. I have an appointment. 4th floor, executive wing." The receptionist interrupts, nodding toward the elevator. The CEO's office. Amaka mutters a polite "thank you" and steps into the elevator. Her heart beats quickening. This is her big break. Working directly under Tunde Adegbite, the man whose name carries weight in both business and elite social circles. As the elevator ascends, she grips the file in her hands a little tighter. No mistakes, no distractions. The 4th floor is nothing like the rest of the building. It is quiet, almost intimidating, with polished marble floors and art pieces that whisper of old money. A large glass door bears the name Tunde Adegbite, CEO. She knocks twice. "Come in." The voice is deep, authoritative. Pushing the door open, she steps in and finds herself in a vast office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. The man behind the desk doesn't look up immediately. He's focused on his laptop, fingers moving swiftly over the keyboard. Amaka has seen pictures of Tunde Adegbite in business magazines, but they don't compare to seeing him in person. Dressed in a navy blue agbada with intricate gold embroidery, he exudes the effortless confidence of a man born into power. Finally, he looks up. Their eyes meet. Amaka Okafor. His voice is smooth, but there's something unreadable in his gaze. "Yes, sir." He studies her for a second too long before nodding. "Welcome. I need efficiency, discretion, and absolute dedication. Can you handle that?" Her back straightens. "Yes, sir." His lips twitch slightly, almost a smile. He gestures towards a chair. "Sit." She does, folding her hands in her lap. "I don't tolerate mistakes," he continues. "You manage my schedule, handle confidential information, and anticipate my needs before I even ask. If you can do that, we won't have problems." Amaka meets his gaze head-on. "I can handle it." He leans back in his chair, tapping a pen against the desk. "Good. Let's get started." And just like that, she steps into a world she never expected. One filled with power, deception, and a love that could destroy them both. Days turn into weeks. Amaka learns the rhythm of her job quickly. She ensures Tunde's meetings run smoothly, organizes his personal and corporate affairs, and manages everything with precision. Tunde, despite his cold exterior, is not an easy man to ignore. He is intelligent, sharp, and though she hates to admit it, dangerously charming. It starts with small moments. A brush of hands as she hands him a file, a lingering gaze across the boardroom, the way his voice softens slightly when they are alone. One evening, long after most employees have left, they sit together in his office, reviewing a presentation. The city lights twinkle beyond the glass windows, casting the room in a golden hue. "You're the best assistant I've had," he says, closing his laptop. She smiles slightly. "I take my job seriously, sir." He exhales, shaking his head. "Tunde," he corrects. "Call me Tunde when we're alone." Amaka hesitates. That wouldn't be appropriate. His gaze darkens, amusement flickering in his eyes. "You're my assistant, not my subject." She looks away, heart pounding. "It's late. I should go." Tunde watches her stand, and for a fleeting moment, she feels the weight of his stare, but she doesn't look back. The more Amaka tries to suppress her feelings, the harder it becomes. The tension between them grows unbearable, hanging thick in the air like an unspoken secret. Then, one night, the lines blur completely. Tunde insists on driving her home. After a late business dinner, the streets of Lagos are quieter than usual, and the hum of the car engine fills the silence between them. At the red light, he finally speaks. "Do you ever wonder what it would be like?" She turns to him, confused. "What?" His fingers tighten on the steering wheel. "If things were different." She swallows hard. "We shouldn't be having this conversation." His jaw clenches. "Maybe, but that doesn't stop me from thinking about it." The light turns green, but neither of them moves. Then, as if sensing the danger of the moment, Amaka looks away. "You're engaged, Tunde." He exhales sharply, slamming his foot on the accelerator, not by choice. But choices don't matter in his world, and neither do feelings. Morayo Bamidele is everything the Adegbite family desires: rich, sophisticated, and well-connected. Their engagement is not about love, but power, a union that will strengthen both dynasties. At their engagement party, Tunde stands beside her, wearing a crisp white agbada. Cameras flash, elders bless the union, and the world watches. Amaka watches too. She shouldn't be there, but she is, hiding in the shadows, pretending she doesn't care. Later that night, outside the venue, Tunde finds her sitting alone in her car. "You came," he says quietly. "I was working," she lies. His gaze searches hers. "Say something." She exhales shakily. "What is there to say?" Tunde clenches his fist. "You know this isn't what I want." She forces a laugh. "We always have choices." For a moment, it looks like he might reach for her, but she moves. "This is where we end," she whispers. At this time, she means it. Days later, Amaka is escorted out of Adegbite Innovations by security. Corporate espionage, they accuse. Leaking confidential information. She pleads innocence, but the evidence is damning. Emails sent from her account, documents traced back to her laptop, and in the distance, standing beside the executives, is Morayo, smiling. But the worst part, Tunde is there too, watching, saying nothing, and just like that, everything falls apart. Tunde storms into his father's study that night. Chief Adegbite sits in a grand wooden chair. He is dressed in a deep purple agbada. "You know she's innocent," Tunde says, voice shaking with rage. The chief is unmoved. "She was a distraction. You have a duty to this family." Tunde clenches his fist. "I love her." The words hang in the air, heavy, irreversible. His father sighs, looking at his son as if he's a foolish boy. Love is fleeting. Power is forever. Tunde's throat tightens. He has always obeyed, always followed the path laid out for him. But now he is at crossroads. Amaka's face flashes in his mind. Her fire, her strength, her pain. For the first time in his life, he doesn't know what to do. And for the first time, he must choose. Would he fight for Amaka, or would he surrender to the weight of tradition? That answer is yet to come. Stay tuned for the next episode of Between Duty and Desire.